Hello again. How are you? Are you in great shape? Did you do the yoga session? Yoga session? No, you didn't. You did. And how was it, actually?
Very good.
Very good.
Useful.
Peaceful, exactly. Thank you for joining us again at Sanofi. We're at Tech for Lab, Tech for, I will manage to do Tech for Health Lab at Sanofi. Thank you for joining us again. We will start with a pitch session. We're very lucky to welcome actually 31 and plus 10 in the other booth, Africa Lab. 31 startups coming from all over the world. I just want to tell you how many were actually candidating. There were 190 here, and out of them, we selected 31 of them. Like any pitch session, we have a jury who will actually be selecting the best solution from the best startup. And we're gonna do a pitch session on Agile organization. I'd like, first of all, to introduce the jury very quickly. Very quickly, we have a lot of people coming.
Hello, my name is Hao. I work for CHC, Consumer Healthcare Finance. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Rachel Shaw. I lead digital business development at Sanofi.
I am Xavier Decoune. I work for ITS in Industrial.
Good morning, Wolfgang Weber. I'm working in finance transformation.
Yes, good morning. My name is Thierry Vernier. I'm the Deputy CFO for Sanofi.
Good morning, everyone. François Gou. I'm head of CHC Finance for Europe.
Hello, Grégory Esch, Information Technology and Solution, Analytics and Master Data Management.
Hello, Alexandre Closet, working in finance in industrial affairs.
Hi, Jean Fauquier, Treasury, Capital Markets.
Hello, Johanna Schwartz, Shift Global Transformation Programs.
I'm Dominique Forceville. I'm Quality Performance for SBS France.
Thank you very much. Thank you because you're a great number of jury for all those 4 startups. Dear startups, are you ready? Yes, you're gonna be ready. So how is it working? Just to explain a couple of things. We're gonna have 4 startups on Agile organization. It's gonna start in a couple of seconds. We will listen to each startups with a video or not and their pitch. And after that, the jury will have the ability to ask some questions for 2 minutes for each of you. And the public, please keep your questions for after. You will have time to ask any questions. Please write them down so that you can ask the questions after. And we have, again, 4 different startups for this Agile organization session. But also to introduce this session, we have a reversed pitch. And for this session, I'd like you to welcome Christophe Hirtz, Head of Finance Customer Healthcare for Sanofi. Christophe, thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much, Christina. Very happy to be with you. So, my name is Christophe Fiat. I am Head of Finance for the Global Business Unit Consumer Healthcare. So what does it mean, consumer healthcare? Is basically any brand you can buy without a prescription in a pharmacy or from a retailer. If I give you an example of famous brands we have at Sanofi, if you are suffering from allergy, we have Allegra. And I would say in France, from the French-based people, I'm sure you all know our pain brands, which is Doliprane. So we have a lot of other brands within Sanofi Consumer Healthcare, which is a newly created division. It's even a new segment since the swap deal with Boehringer Ingelheim 18 months ago now. So why we are here today? We are here today to speak about forecasting. So you can imagine that as a finance person, in our daily work, forecasting and especially sales forecasting is playing a critical role. I met this morning shortly our CEO, Olivier Brandicourt. He said for him it's also absolutely critical. So planning starts always with a top line, which is key for any decision making. For the time being, we are using mostly 2 main sources of data, our internal data with any kind of granularity we have, and I would say the external market data provided by the traditional suppliers. What we are missing, this is what we are calling, I would say, the third pillar, or what we are missing is what I would call the unstructured data. What does it mean with the sales forecast at country level, at category, brand level, and also, of course, at channel level? You can imagine with the rise of e-commerce, this is for us absolutely critical. So with the jury here and myself, we are very excited to listen to our 4 startups, and I give back the floor to Christina. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Christophe. Thank you. And I'm very delighted to introduce the first startup Okra Technologies.
Is this working? Yeah. Okay, guys, thank you. My name is Rossum. I'm from Okra Technologies. I'm based in the United Kingdom. Thank you for having me here. I just want to start by telling you what we do. So Okra Technologies empowers the pharmaceutical industry and the consumer goods industry with evidence-based insights in real time. What I mean by that is we answer natural language questions in real time, but we supplement that with predictions and why. So why did something happen, or why will it happen in the future? To enable you really to trigger action in real time. So we combine multiple data sets to achieve those answers to really drive health and market outcomes. So imagine you could ask your data a question, and the solution we developed is a solution that can answer any one of those questions. So we are real-time, multiple data sources, meaning IMS data, Viva data, Nielsen data, Kantar data, unstructured, structured data, social media data. We combine it all together. We map multiple behavioral profiles. We learn, we understand, and we automate outcome prediction. It's very simple to use. You select the data that you require. You set the inclusion criteria. We define the outcomes. But most importantly, we blind test. Everything that's done today in pharma is based on evidence. We are exactly the same. We take historic data, we test it, we validate, you ask questions, and then you get insights in real time. So where have we done this before? We delivered this for Unilever in Brazil, multiple brands, multiple data sets, multiple analysts, taking weeks, if not months, to derive insights. In real time, we're able to say, okay, what's happening with Axe in Brazil? You get the market share, the predicted market share, the markers for growth, the markers for decline. If we go a little bit deeper and say, well, why is that happening? We get reason codes which are attributed to the percentage point in increase or decrease in market share. And finally, if you want a kind of a more granular view, you can really dig down based on all the features we've extracted: manufacturer, brands, area, genre, packaging, and period. So where do we operate? The customers and the market. We're focused on life sciences. I've been in life sciences for 15 years. So a lot of our focus is based on all those brands you see up there, particularly within real world customer engagement and market insights. But we've also done a considerable amount of work within the consumer goods space. And we do some pro bono work in care services, matching children with carers so that children can have a social impact down the line. Market sizing. Focusing on the right-hand side here from insights and customer engagement, a huge amount of money is spent on market research, a huge amount of money is spent on detailing multi-channel, just equating that up to a $12.5 billion market that we think we can go in and automate and provide those answers that you need today, not next week, not next month. We want to intervene, we want to prevent much earlier on. The business model is simple. We start with a POC, right? We've got to prove that it works. We've got to validate it. We take on the data assets based on the verticals. We then move to a minimum viable product. That's probably where most of our customers are at this stage, and we build that product together. This is about having a system that works with you, not for a month, not for 2 months, but from now and learn and understand over the next years, so you can continue to ask those questions. This is where we want to get to, which is the licensing model. And we're not there yet, but I can talk you through that at the booth if required. Finally, the team. We're led by CEO and founder Lubna Bouafa, who is an MIT innovator under 35. She's been in AI and machine learning for the last 8 years. She developed surgical workflow prediction, so predicting errors in real time in surgical theaters. Then she developed a system that is the leading fraud detection system now worldwide, saving $12 billion in the financial industry, and that is what our system is based on. So spotting the signal in the data that is leading to impact, and that is vitally important for fraud. Along with that, we've just closed Series A funding in March this year, raising £3 million, and we're scaling now very quickly. We're a team of 12, hopefully a team of 20 by the end of the year. Thank you for listening, and any questions, happy to take them.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Rossum. It's now the time for the questions, 2-minute questions.
Thanks, Rossum. What kind of data set do you need in order to feel confident in your answers? So the questions around data set size in building.
Yeah, so on the work we've done so far, we've probably had historic 1 year of data. So whether it was IMS sales, Viva activity, Nielsen brand or market data, it's typically 2016, then we validate it on 2017, we predict, and then we say to you, is that what happened? Is that why it happened? And then we obviously have all the ROC curves, etc., to make sure that what we are predicting moving forward is accurate and in line with what you expect. To add to that, with social media, we only need about 1 month's data because there's a huge volume of conversations that are actually happening in that time period.
Yeah, thank you. Hi, Rossum. Question about this dataset maintenance over the long term. The data sources are moving very fast. The whole environment is moving quick. How can you and your team help your customer to really keep track of this for months but years, because finance particularly needs long-term sustainable solutions?
Yeah. So obviously it's a cloud-based system, so everything that we have remains secure on our servers in the cloud. So from a historic perspective, we can go back to whatever date you have in terms of data, and moving forward that system is designed to stay with you. So if you want to look back 2 years, 3 years, 4 years on those predictions and what happened today, that's possible. So it doesn't go anywhere. People go and take their knowledge elsewhere. This system will remain, and it will learn and progress with you over that time period. I hope that answers.
And just more for the unstructured data capture on the internet or anywhere else, how do you keep pace with the fast-changing environment?
Yeah, so typically it's more with the design of what are those defined outcomes, and then we'll keep pace within those defined outcomes. So within social media, we did a project around understanding impact of heart failure and an unbranded campaign, and that now has remained within the system. Of course, if you want to add more data sets to that, we have to then increase the features of the outcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you. It's quite an exercise, I know. Thank you very much. Yes, exactly. We will continue with the next startup. Please, a great round of applause for Graphene. If we can have the presentation for Graphene, please. Great. The video, can boost the video? No? You don't have a video? So you have 1 minute more for that. You're going to be great.
So I have a minute more.
6 minutes for you, as apparently the video has disappeared. It's the technical sides of the effect.
That's all right. Right, so I'll have to cover the video in a minute, and then I'll go on to my pitch. I'm Santosh from Singapore, and we are a company who's spent 4 years in serving healthcare companies only. And we have developed a pharma-specific AI platform, which is the first pharma-only AI platform in the world. There are 3 things that this does uniquely. The first is, you may not know that there are 4 million doctors online who are conversing. But due to legal and ethical reasons, they remain anonymous. what we have done is developed an algorithm through which we can identify these doctors without compromising their confidentiality and then dig that information to give you numeric insights. The second is to provide unbiased insights. We have an engine where the whole theme is around what is it that you pharma companies don't know that you don't know, but you should know. So we have an unbiased engine which removes all the human biases and mathematically does what a human being is supposed to do. And I will show you examples of that. Finally, we have already got many pharma companies who are using our AI platform in areas like competitive intelligence, in real-world evidence, in HCP insights, doctor insights, regulatory intelligence, clinical intelligence, and these are the proven areas where we already have our system. I am here to introduce this to the European pharma companies because we've already processed in excess of 7 million records. How does our AI platform work? It looks at external documents, and it is constantly looking for millions of external documents in the pharma space by therapy area, by country, and then processing it. It can then combine it with any subscribed databases you have, with any internal information you have. It reads it like a human being, it processes it and finds relationships like a human being, and converts them into insights. To show you the power of this, we asked Mavis a few questions related to Sanofi. To start with, we asked Mavis, what do doctors in Spain think about vaccination? In the last 6 months, it found 1,400 pediatricians and doctors in Spain talking about vaccines. It then classified these conversations mathematically into themes, and it told us that the top 3 themes that doctors in Spain are talking about on vaccines are these 3. Now, when you look at Hexasim, the themes are slightly different. And when you look at the positive conversations that doctors are having, because this can also process emotions, these are the top 3 positive conversations that doctors are having about Hexasim. Now, when you look at addressing safety concerns, which is the first theme, when you read some of the doctor verbatims, you don't find the term addressing safety concerns. But the engine is smart enough to know that these conversations are around safety concerns, and that's how it does it. The next is around providing unbiased insights. We looked at what are the key messages from Lantus globally and how did the doctors and the patients react to this. It is not what Sanofi intended to do, but what really happened. Mavis told us that these were the top 3 conversations that the world heard from Lantus, and this is how the doctors and the patients reacted to it. And you can see that the good control message has registered well, but Lantus has a big problem in differentiation. Next, we asked Mavis who are the top 3 doctor influencers in diabetes. It looked at all the doctors and what kind of specialists that they were referring to, and found that these are the top 3 influences for HCPs, and these are the kind of places where they were engaging. Now we asked Mavis, what are the global insights from clinical trials for Sanofi? It first looked at Novo Nordisk and all the clinical trials Novo Nordisk was running, and found that these are the areas where they're running their most clinical trials, and by reading these clinical trials told you that these are the new claims that you should expect to come from Novo Nordisk. It went a step further and said, here are the 2 drugs that Sanofi should be tracking because it expects, because of these reasons, that it will disrupt the diabetes category. The reason that we have succeeded so far is because we customize our solution through a 5-step consulting process, and we can either give it to you as a regular report or a tailored web platform. We charge an annual fee per brand, per country, and it regularly updates this. But our cost of doing this per brand and country is less than 1 business analyst a year. And when you combine multiple brands per country or multiple countries per brand, it becomes even cheaper. As I said, we have more than 50 employees. We are very financially sound. And we are led by a team which is very proven. If you want to know more about the kind of AI applications that your kind of pharma companies are using, real demos, please come and visit us, including a benchmark of how your company is doing on key parameters versus the industry, and you're actually doing pretty well. Please do visit us.
Thank you very much. Now, 2 minutes question from the public. You still have the microphone? Yeah, somewhere? Great. Thank you.
Are you screening as well financial data?
Sorry,
Are you screening as well financial data?
Yes. Yes.
And what kind of typical example?
So when it looks at the financial data, it can look at all investor data. It can look at any competitors' published data. You don't have to tell us the sources. If you tell us the question, the AI engine automatically figures out and tells you what the information is. It can also take any specific data you have. So the beauty of the engine is, depending on the question, it finds the data sources. And then it has millions of sources, so it finds it and tells you what sources it picked it up from.
Any other questions? Sorry. Any other questions? Yes.
Yes, Rachel.
Can you describe your experience working with other partners? Are you still at a stage of piloting Mavis, or
No.
have you deployed it?
We have many retainers in place, large retainers in place. What's happened is most of our clients, we have more than 5 pharma clients who are already paid clients with retainers, and a lot of them have started with Asia, and we already have 2 clients who have processed this, and we are doing by country global analysis for 2 large companies, including one of the largest pharma companies in Japan. That includes Brazil, Argentina, Middle East, Russia, all European markets, China, Japan, Australia, all these markets, all languages are covered.
Any other questions? And it's over. Thank you very much. A great applause to you, Santosh. Thank you very much. This was Graphene. Thank you. We will continue now with the third startup. Please welcome Etaonis.
Thank you very much.
You will come in a minute. Give us 1 second.
I'll give you it. Once it's running in, I'll just tell you why the name of my company is a tongue twister. It's very hard to spell. It's Etaonis. It's even weirder for the English-speaking people. Etaonis is actually a key. It's the key to decipher codes because it's the order of the most frequent letters in English. So the first letter is E, T, and so on and so on. So basically, we're a data science company. It's a good introduction to my pitch. So, and actually we use data science to be a business intelligence company. So the main problem that we want to tackle is the fact that the source of the most present sources of information in the world is the internet, and yet it remains an untapped source. And being data scientists, we use our knowledge to take the value out of this unstructured oil well of information to turn it into business insights. So what do we do concretely? Actually, we give you the data in order for you to generate the proper insights, and we help you generate those insights. So with our tool, so we have a complete suite of algorithms and a platform of visualization platform to grab data from the internet, sometimes mix it with internal data. We have what we call a business artificial intelligence. This is something, and this is algorithm that help us generate insights. I will give you an example of them afterwards. And we know how to take the information to the right person in an organization to make wealth out of it. So this platform, actually, we use it already with some large corporates. It is a platform that is scalable, so it can be used by as much people as needed. It's user-friendly, and most of it's plug and play, so it's very easy to implement in your companies, especially in pharma. So, for example, a real use case of what we did, for example, is we could use e-commerce data. This is not from me. So, for example, we worked already using and creating insights out of Amazon information. So we won't go on Amazon, we take out information and we structure it in order to give it to the marketing teams in one house at LVMH. And we could do the same, for example, with Pharma Market of MedLife, that are retailers of products, of pharmaceutical products. So this is for the kind of information that you can find, for example, on e-commerce website. But what we do also is reading articles. You know that articles, texts are very hard to structure. It's purely unstructured information, and we gather sense out of it. So for example, we work with Orange to take information out of articles from the Presse Quotidienne Régionale, so regional information, and we create. We create dashboards for them to understand how the public clients look like there. And so the enhanced insight that we provide based on this information is mostly discussed with our clients, with our past partners, to be the most precise as we can. So what's next together? What can we do? So today we're still a startup that I will present later. What we can do is create this collection of data and creation of insights within 3 months. That's the kind of POC that we do. And most of the time when we go and implement our solutions in less than 6 months, our partners, so again large corporates in France, find that they have some ROI. So this is the kind of partners that we have already. So we work for some time, for years, with those large companies, for example, Enedis and Moet Hennessy. And we have also an experience of success with all of the other partners here. So who we are, to sustain such ambitious program, we are a technology startup. So we have been crossing the 3 years milestone like 3 weeks ago. We're 7 people. We are established in Paris. So we have we are data scientists mostly, coming from the NSAE Paris and École Polytechnique. And we have other people coming with us, bringing business and help our clients having success. And being a young startup in France, we relied a lot on a hackathon and we were awarded lots of hackathon primes during the last year. Thank you very much.
Congratulations. Very good. Very good, just on time. Thank you. You have the 2 minutes questions from the jury.
Please.
Yes, thank you so much for your address. I had one question. Looking at your dashboard,
yeah,
they look pretty much like the one we have today at Sanofi. So what makes them different? Yeah, this one I see them every day.
Oh yeah.
So prove me they are different.
How can I prove you it? Actually, most of what we do differently is the data that is behind is mostly text. So this is one example of what we show, but I could show you also examples where you have more text and more structured text. So for example, we use visual tools like word clouds to show you the most important themes. For example, in a range. So for example, I was talking about Orange. For example, for the public themes, it's very important for them to understand what in a particular municipality is important. And mostly it's important to see that, but also how it can be integrated, for example, to your presentations. And it comes also with a very wide range of APIs going to Excel sheets also, so that your analyst can make sense out of it.
Quite challenging. Another question.
So thank you for your pitch.
Welcome.
So you spoke about e-commerce.
Yeah.
So how do you better structure and get information from this important channel?
Thank you for this question. Actually, what we do very good is fetching information every day on the website that we monitor. So we are a primary source of information. If you ask me, or if you ask anyone else here, how many products is Amazon selling in the customer healthcare retail? Nobody has the answer. You have to go on the internet. There is nowhere in Amazon that tell you I'm selling so much, such and such. We don't have a magic stick to find the quantity that they sell, but we can use lots of information. For example, the best sales we can see on their websites, and we can create dashboard to see what are the brands that are most bought on the Amazon, and it can help you a lot understanding how those kind of products are sold on the internet.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you to you, Arthur. And now we will pass on to the next, last but not least, Lexa Texer.
All right, good morning, everybody.
You can start talking and it's going to come actually, yes.
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
So, good morning, everybody. Thanks for having us today. My name is Gunther. I'm with Lexa Texer. We are active in predictive analytics. Consider that the largest part of information in your corporation, or basically anywhere, is unstructured, right? Unstructured information that is, well, it's customer communication, it's news, it's documents, legal documents, and basically any person-to-person communication. So wouldn't it be cool if you could access this gibberish, extract the relevant facts, and make these facts available for analysis? And that's exactly what we're doing. So how's it done today? Please correct me if I'm wrong and if it's different at Sanofi. But what we've seen so far is hero engineers, hero doctors, hero lawyers, they read through tons of text. If everything goes right, by the end of the day, they have actionable knowledge. The problem with this approach is it won't scale. How much text can a person read? That's where we come in. We believe you can automate not everything, but a lot with analytics. Our solution to this is our platform on the next slide. Can you hit the next slide, please? All right. So our solution is we developed a proprietary analytics platform. Think of it as Lego building blocks. The Lego building blocks, they come from natural language processing, machine learning, AI, and security. With these building blocks, we build products for our customers to get solutions done. Today, we are active in 3 verticals. Finance is one of them, with 3 products. Today, I'm going to focus on intelligence, more precisely on sales intelligence, and we also apply this methodology and the product, for example, to energy trading. And some of the customers we roll the system out and we apply the system is, for example, Daimler or energy trading companies, or Ernst & Young is using our platform as a white label platform to handle use cases for their asset management clients. Analysis is one part of the solution, right? But you also need the content. So particularly for intelligence, we provide content from 3 different arenas. One arena is we provide finance information. We look at roughly 400 international sources coming from Asia, Europe, and the US. We also provide intelligence on operational, on threat intelligence, and on threat KPIs for your customers. We're going to focus on finance information. Content plus analysis. That is going to give you the insights and the value you need. And here is an example of how we use the system for one of our clients, a car manufacturer you may know. What we do is we boil down the sales KPIs they've given to us by region, by engine, by car. Now we look for events. News are driving markets, right? And news are driving demand. So now we look for events and figure out if they have an impact, and if the answer is yes, there is an impact, we quantify the impact on any of the sales KPIs. So that would allow them to better manage their production and give them better predictions for the future development of their KPIs. EY uses our platform to do risk management for their asset management clients. We roll out either as a front end or as a data stream, depending on how you are organized. We got incorporated early 2017. We currently roll out in the German-speaking markets, in the DACH market, and in the Netherlands, and we're looking into the Asian markets right now. Our team has a background from finance and from technology. So in our previous lives, we've built financial models, trading models for forex or for yield curves. We've worked with banks and hedge funds, but we cover the business side. We have senior partners from EY in the board, and our team comes from MIT, from Duke University, from Humboldt University in Berlin. So the way we like to operate is that we start with a POC. So typically that runs, let's say, from 3 to 5 months. That's a realistic horizon. What we'd like to ask from you, we need basically 3 things from you. Data, perhaps. Some of the data we can chip in, but we need 2 roles from you. One is an entrepreneur in residence. That is someone who understands the use case and can translate that back into your corporate language. And the other is a technician, which we track along in the project. That is basically runs under the headline trust building. That technician needs to understand what we do on the technical level and needs to translate that back into your corporate language, right? Interfacing with your technology guys. So thanks very much. Come talk to me at my booth right around the corner.
Thank you. Thank you, Gunther. 2 minutes question from the jury. And please, dear public, keep your questions.
What is your business model?
It's a SaaS model. Once we're done with the POC, there is a go, no-go decision, and then we run a SaaS model. So there will be a base fee, and then depending on the number of users you have, we will come up with a number.
Which way do you determine the data which are concretely relevant for our subject, the forecast-related subject?
Okay. Well, there are 2 phases to this, or 2 elements. One is we have created news sources. That is, either we or one of our clients believe that there is valuable information in one of these sources. If you have special interest channels, we onboard them. That is the first part. The second part is our algorithms. They simply go through all of the sources. They basically match all the events and try to figure if there is a relevant, statistically relevant impact. Then we keep on using the sources.
Another question? No questions? Thank you very much.
Great.
Thank you,
Thanks.
Gunther. Thank you. Thank you. Now we can actually, it's the moment we can actually, any other questions you would like to ask to the 4 of them, dear jury? No? No questions from the jury? You have 1 question? No, it's fine. Great, perfect. So the jury will now deliberate. Thank you very much. This is the moment. And please, dear public, stay with us, because now you'll be able also to ask your questions to the 4 startups. Thank you for the jury, and you will come back for deliberation. And now I would like to invite our 4 startups, the first pitch session about Agile organization. And you're coming back, of course. Thank you. Please join us, dear startups, again, so that we can answer. Thank you. You can answer the questions of the public. Dear public, do you have any questions? Do you have any questions for our 4 startups? No questions? They were so good that it's difficult to ask questions. Any questions? But so if there are no questions, yes, you have the right. We have 10 minutes. You have the right to say a little bit more. Let's say 2 minutes each if you want to pitch something, add something else. 2 minutes each for extra information about your companies.
Okay. Can it be random? Can it be something else?
Yeah,
it's not totally irrelevant. So I would like to talk to you about artificial intelligence. Who wants to know something funny about artificial intelligence? Please raise your hands. Thank you very much, Christina. Thank you for the courageous here. So I wanted to explain to you that artificial intelligence that we use still remain a bit silly. It's silly, but it just does something very specific. It's what we call the objective function. Any artificial intelligence models today, they try to optimize one thing. And one thing only. That's why I'm not fearing the machines taking over the world. So the thing that I wanted to share with you is the artificial intelligence that someone used behind Tetris. You've played to Tetris, right? You've played already Tetris. So you know there are tons of buttons. You have got up, right, there's space and things like that, and pause. And so just to illustrate that to you, so someone used artificial intelligence to win to Tetris. And the objective function I was talking to you about was you don't have to lose, because if you don't lose, you know, every pieces are going down and they are deleted with so much and such. So the objective function is you shouldn't lose. So it tried and it began to push every button, so up, so it tried to lose, it started to lose, and then it became better and better. And once in a while, it pushed on the button pause. Okay, so it paused and it unpaused and it went back and on and on. And sometimes it just pushed on the pause button, so it froze everything. And so it won. Because the objective function was you don't have to lose. Playing and pushing on the button pause was just freezing everything, and it was winning. So in the end, what I wanted to illustrate is that artificial intelligence is still a bit silly, and our tool and us four here is to make it better and to teach it things that are actually useful.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm just reminding, Etaonis is your startup.
That's a hard example to beat. Right. So what I wanted to talk to you about is, as you heard, Graphene is focused on purely healthcare-related AI. And one of the areas where we're doing a lot of work is how do we help doctors make better decisions around patient care. And if you do come to our booth, we actually have a demo of some of the work we are doing in rural parts of India, where it's very difficult for doctors to access the patients. A lot of these patients are diabetic, and when you're a diabetic, diabetic patients don't know that their eyesight is going down, and sometimes they start having a fuzziness and then they're going to go blind. It's called diabetic retinopathy. So we've actually used our AI to develop a protocol where it's not the doctor, it's just a screener who goes and measures the eyesight of these patients. And then when the AI thinks that the eyesight is going down, it flags, and then the doctor treats them. Through this, in the last 2 years, we've saved 1,000 rural patients from blindness. Otherwise, they would have gone blind. We have a demo of that in our booth, so if you want to see it, and if you want your eyes tested, you won't get the real thing because we haven't brought the camera, but at least you'll get a sense on how some of those rural patients are getting the kind of technology that you probably haven't experienced now. Come and visit us.
Thank you, Santosh from Graphene.
So I would like to understand where you come from. What industries, what verticals? Finance? All right, finance, we got one. Production. Anybody production? Anybody in sales? Okay, don't let me guess. Okay, sales, finance, that's good. What else do we have? Vertical. Okay, sales. Anybody in energy trading? Where are you from? What function? IT. All right. Because I'm trying to get the right use cases for you. What I just described is one part of a use case, right? Because typically what you do today, if you work on predictions, you do have some nicely structured time series like financial data, weekly, daily, monthly. And then the magic or the voodoo is in correlating, finding functional dependencies. But what basically no one is looking at is, look, there are events coming in, right? Something happens in Asia. Some political event happens. The Suez Canal may be blocked because there is a freighter blocking it. These are the types of events that happen all the time, but nobody really looks at what is the impact on your sales or on any of the time series that you may be interested in, right? And that's the additional part that we are trying to add, and that gives a corporate additional benefit. Questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, Gunther. Thank you, Lexa Texer.
Okay, guys, I'm going to be quick because clearly I can see everyone's losing the will to live now. But I'm just going to ask very quickly, how many of you used Uber or a taxi to get here this morning?
Yes.
How many of you have used Google today to ask something?
Yes.
Okay, would you use these applications if your answer took 3 months or your taxi took 4 days to arrive? No, you wouldn't. That's what Okra does. You ask a question, you get the answer, you take action. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Rossum. And again, Okra Technologies. Thank you very much. With all that was added over here, you have the deliberation and the jury comes back. You know, it's another version of Eurovision. It's an international Sanofi vision. Sanofi vision, and with deliberation. So how was it? I think it was difficult to choose, wasn't it?
It's very difficult.
Very difficult. Was it easy for you?
Not that easy.
Not very easy, no.
No, but we have a winner anyway.
No, but that's a good way to conclude. Thank you. Was it easy to choose?
No, it was really difficult, and we had to count. And we are not very good with numbers. We had points, and we had to give points, and it was a difficult call, really.
So now it's the moment. Are you ready for this, guys? Are you sure? But before we do this, I'd like you, please, in the public, to give a great round of applause for them. Because it's a hard challenge, actually, to pitch for on 5 minutes. And we were together yesterday, and really, out of 190 startups candidating for this, they came out of that. So congratulations again. And now I will call for the winner. Thierry, who is the winner?
So, I'm lucky to be able to announce the winner. So it has been a very difficult choice because all the, you all presented a very important aspect of what we want to do. But as we have finance, we have decided to be focused and to maybe to build on what was closest to the exact need that we have highlighted. And we have decided to go for a go with Okra. And again, it's a very difficult call, and we'll give you a bit of background of whatever we felt about it. But in short, I think you were right to the spot. You understand the challenge. I think what was the main point. We understand that within Sanofi, what is our role as finance, what we advise the business for, what kind of questions we don't get answer to, and just, as an example, you show only one screen where you ask a question, what was, I don't think it was a product in Dove in Brazil. So these are the typical questions we ask ourselves on which we want to progress on getting learned to. So I think we'd be happy to work with you. And for the others, we'll give you some feedback. We may work together in a different setup. But again, very good work for all of you guys.
And again, yes, a great round of applause for all of you, and a great round of applause for you, Okra Technologies. Rossum, I think you had some feedback to say, a couple of things for our dear other 3 startups.
Yeah, it's, you are all at a different stage of your development. And Sanofi is a big corporation, and it's probably a way for you to address it. Some of the points were maybe in the brief were not necessarily exactly addressed to what our questions. So I was speaking on Graphene. I think you have a very, very important stuff, but maybe not numeric enough and not addressed to a finance population. That you may have you have a lot of input in other parts. For Iteneos, you are fresh. You have a lot to bring. You are a bit behind in terms of experience, in terms of thing, but great work. And of course, at your level, I think you are very structured. You have already a good organization. We'll have to work a bit on your business model, but I think you can do well. And there will be a way to work together at some point. I'm quite sure. Okay.
Thank you
and
very much.
My other colleagues, which have different backgrounds than me, that may want to give other feedbacks.
Any other feedback? Yeah.
I was in charge to give you a feedback, in fact. So what came out from the jury was that we were very happy to see or to have some fresh air coming from that kind of stuff. Very honestly, I'm working in analytics and master data management. I'm looking for data scientists, and you look like the guys I'm looking for out of the market. So I think we need to discuss together. Yeah, I will. So thank you for that. Maybe someone else for.
So I'm in charge of giving feedback to Graphene. Like Tiaki just said, actually your angle to cut into this business, to pharma business, is almost spot on from the physician's perspective and to collect the insights. And what we think is really useful to medical or clinical trials or that technical related fields, but for finance specifically and for sales growth, probably it's a little bit out of scope. But we're really impressed, and probably we will have other ways of cooperation. Thank you.
And to complete the feedback after that very short exchange between the jury members, Gunther, for you guys, it was very compelling. But what was missing for us was the direct relationship and background to the pharmaceutical business, where you don't have really the, at least you didn't put any example which was directly relevant out of our business. However, as Thierry mentioned already, it's a very, very compelling approach you showed. So maybe there's another context where we can come together.
Any other comments you want to add? No? Everyone is done? Thank you very much. I'd like, again, please give them a round of applause for this first session. Thank you very much. Can you stay with us, Rossum? We have to actually make a great picture. We took some pictures with the four of you. We'll keep also the winner. We took some of you together, but we'll take also one by himself for the winner. Congratulations again, and please don't hesitate to go and visit them, of course. Yes, please. Yes, on your own. You're the winner. Yes, exactly. You can actually, yes, exactly. A winning position. Great. Like, yeah, exactly. And you know, you have winning the right actually to say three words just to finish. How are you feeling?
No, feeling great, and just want to thank Sanofi for organising such a fabulous event, giving us the platform to be able to present what we do and an opportunity to work with you. So that's all we can ever ask for.
Thank you very much again. Thank you guys, all of you. Thank you very much to the jury. Please, a round of applause for the jury, because it's a hard task actually. And I'd like you to thank you, dear audience, for being with us also, and stay with us for the next round. Thank you.
In 20 minutes, we have a breakthrough innovation, a fun little session where you will learn more about innovation by doing things. So it's a hands-on session which lasts 25 minutes and which starts in 20 minutes. 11:40, we're starting.